Right now at 6, some Southeast Kansas 7th graders get a lesson in life skills.
We've got ourselves a warm and windy day ahead of us. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Baxter Springs Police Department improves their crime-fighting abilities with the help of some federal funds.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Good Friday in the 4 states. So
it really feels like spring out there.
It certainly does. It's very mild out there. We've got the holiday, kids out of school. A lot of folks don't have work today.
Yeah.
We do.
We do.
Are we actually here right now?
Are we an illusion? I don't know.
It's hard
I don't
to
know
tell.
where you're going with this, Chris.
You never know.
You
with
never
AI
know.
these days, but I don't think
Scary,
AI could possibly do what we do.
You don't think so?
We're awesome.
Well, yeah.
AI is not awesome. That's the key difference.
I guess we'll see. We'll see.
But no, we won't.
Are you real? Are you a hologram?
Maybe. It could be. Well, we've got an absolutely wonderful day, except for the wind out there for us today. So that's the one thing we want to remind you about. Quick look outside. This is our camera, Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Looking pretty good, but you can see, look at it shaking. Those winds already starting to ramp up across the area. MoDOT camera 20th, or sorry, I'm so used to that. 32nd in range line, looking back to the west. It's starting to bob around a little bit in the wind as well. And we do have wind advisories, Kansas and Missouri, and these run until 7 o'clock this evening because we can see those southerly winds gusting upwards of 40 to 50 miles an hour. And this is going to persist through pretty much the entire day. And that's why these advisories go through at least 7 because it's going to be very windy out there. So if you are traveling for the holiday, especially on any east-west roadways across the area, do make sure you're holding on to the wheel, you're paying attention out there with these strong gusty winds. 54 in Joplin right now, 50 in Pittsburgh, so a very mild start. We're in fact 15 to 25 degrees warmer right now than we were 24 hours ago. We are seeing a few less upper 40s out there and a lot more low to mid 50s across the region as we have a very mild start to this day, and it is going to continue to be warm. Clouds will increase, so partly cloudy through the morning, mostly cloudy heading into the afternoon. It stays breezy. Our highs today about 10 to 15 above normal as we go into the low to mid 70s out there. So a beautiful day. You just got to watch out for that wind across the area. We will continue to stay warm heading into Easter, and then we're also watching some thunderstorm chances by late Sunday night into Monday. We'll take a full look at that in your forecast, in the full forecast rather, a little later. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. A 7-year-old boy from Aurora, Missouri is recovering after a dog bite incident. Authorities say that it happened a Wednesday night on private property within Monette, Missouri city limits. Investigators say the child who suffered severe injuries was a guest at the home where the dog resides. Emergency personnel transported the victim to Kansas City for treatment, and the mixed breed dog is being held by Monette Animal Control. That dog was also the subject of a bite incident in October. That case is pending in Monette Municipal Court. Authorities arrest a suspect in a telecommunications cable theft. Jasper County deputies responded to reports of the theft near High Street in Sarcoxie, Missouri early Tuesday morning. Deputies served a search warrant at the location of a possible suspect vehicle and found 470 feet of telecommunications cable at the home. Deputies arrested the suspect, but official charges have not been filed. Baxter Springs Police is receiving more than $160,000 in federal funds. The money will be used for technological upgrades. Specifically, the police department plans to buy 10 body cameras and 6 car cameras. The funding will also help upgrade their 6th less lethal taser.
One of the big benefits for the community of the cameras, for example, is transparency. As an agency, we want to be transparent to the community. We want to be able to show them that we are doing things the right way for the right reason. And we're not perfect. There are times we might mess up.
The community is safer when the police department is trained and has the tools necessary to do their jobs in the best way. And that also protects the officers themselves. So safety for the police officer, but when they're doing their jobs with the latest technology and the right kind of training, they're not making the mistakes that might cause harm to somebody in the community.
As of right now, the Baxter Springs police vehicles do not have car cameras. U.S. Senator Jerry Moran supported the federal funding, and Chief of Police Brian Henderson anticipates to have the items in place by midsummer. Well, 7th graders from Frontenac Junior High School learned life skills at Greenbush in Girard yesterday. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Have any questions?
The annual Life Skills Day for Frontenac 7th graders means a field trip to Greenbush to learn basic cooking skills.
And I was a little stressed out at first, but so far it seems like it's going pretty well and the kids are enjoying themselves. And we're just teaching them some basic cooking things that they should be able to do on their own.
Usually the Greenbush staff travels to the middle school to teach, but this year, 65 7th graders went to them.
I was like, I was really excited because when they first announced the Greenbush trip, and I was like, okay, what kind are we doing? And they're like, we're gonna go cooking, and I'm just like, are you serious? I love cooking.
Gabe's group started the day making roasted chickpeas and granola from scratch.
It feels like oats. Like it's not wet or anything. Yeah. My mom bakes and then my dad cooks, and I really like cooking. I really like cooking and baking. I'm a lot of an artistic kind of guy. I'm more in arts than sports.
So it's hot.
The 7th graders aren't just understanding basic cooking, but learning new ingredients as well.
I didn't know, I thought chickpeas were like a nut, not like a seed. I thought they were kind of like a peanut, but I didn't know they were like a seed.
Reporting in Girard, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
6th and 8th graders also got off campus, but they spent the day touring some departments at PSU. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. AAA has a warning for drivers. You're going to likely be paying more for gas this spring. Plus, 2 barges are arriving soon to help remove the debris left after the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsed. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
or on South Santa Fe in Chanute.
Well, topping Nation Watch this morning, AAA has a warning for drivers. You will likely pay more for gas this spring. According to a AAA spokesperson, the early spring surge in oil prices was likely caused by Ukraine's targeting of Russia's oil infrastructure. But gas prices will now likely resume their usual slow and steady seasonal increase with spring break and summer vacations ahead. AAA also says new data shows gas demand dipped slightly last week. But while a slower demand usually helps push gas prices lower, AAA says they remain elevated as a result of rising oil prices. Thursday's national average is $3.53. That is a 24 cents higher than a month ago and 10 cents more than a year ago. The IRS's Criminal Investigation Unit says it has looked into tax and money laundering cases worth almost $9 billion. The more than 1,600 cases are related to COVID fraud. The agency says almost 800 people have been indicted for their alleged COVID-related crimes. 337 of them have been sentenced to time in federal prison. The Criminal Investigation Unit says it has 98.5% conviction rate in prosecuted COVID fraud cases. And they say they plan on continuing their investigation since they now have additional resources provided by the Inflation Reduction Act. For people looking for a job in politics, there are about to be hundreds of jobs available in the Republican National Committee. Just a few weeks ago, the organization fired a large portion of its staff. Now it's opening dozens of offices across the country and staffing them up. That's going to happen over the next month or so as Republicans gear up for the presidential election. One official within the RNC said the campaign will be run differently in each battleground state. Less than a month ago, Donald Trump's campaign moved top campaign advisor Chris LaCivita to the committee. He also helped elect Michael Whatley as the new chairman, with his daughter-in-law Laura Trump serving as co-chair. The U.S. Census is changing how it categorizes people by race and ethnicity. Thursday, the Office of Management and Budget announced the government would collect race and ethnicity information using a single question. Response options will now include 7 broad categories: white, Hispanic or Latino, or Black or African American. Options also include Asian, American Indian or Alaska Native, and a Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander. A new Middle Eastern or North African category will also be a choice. Under the previous standards, Hispanic or Latino ethnicity was measured in a question separate from the one on racial identity. This is the first time in nearly 3 decades that the existing standards across all federal agencies have been changed. 2 barges armed with cranes are arriving soon to help remove debris left after the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsed. Officials warn it will be a long process to reopen the ports to ships and much longer to rebuild the bridge. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
New video from the National Transportation Safety Board shows the immense task ahead. Sections of the bridge wound around the ship that brought it down.
This vessel is almost the size of the Eiffel Tower, and the only difference is that it now has the Key Bridge laying on top of it.
Engineering teams are figuring out the best way to cut the bridge up so it can be lifted off of the ship.
Our number one priority is to reopen the Port of Baltimore as fast as we can and do it safely.
The Biden administration has approved $60 million in emergency funds to deal with the aftermath, including rebuilding the bridge.
This work will not take hours. This work will not take days. This work will not just take weeks. We have a very long road ahead of us.
4 construction workers are still missing, but their bodies won't be recovered until more debris is removed. The brother of one of them, Minor Yasir Suazo Sandoval, told CBS News he wishes he could have stopped him from going to work that night. 2 workers did survive the collapse. Moises Diaz says his friend Julio Cervantes escaped out of the window of his sinking truck. He thought, "I'm gonna die here," but his friend made it out safely, even though he can't swim. Those who live nearby are still in shock about the disaster.
It's just surreal. It's just like I can't wrap my mind around the fact that that whole bridge is actually gone.
For ships that had planned stops at one of the busiest ports in the U.S., it's unclear how long this waiting game will last. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The port handles more vehicles and farm equipment than any other in the U.S. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a warm and breezy day out there today. The Skywatch Storm Tracker showing a few clouds out there now, but those clouds are expected to continue to increase. If you look off to the south and to the west, you see a few more beginning to roll into the area. Our camera 7th and range line looking pretty good so far, but again, the winds are going to continue to increase out there, and we do have wind advisories for all of Kansas and southwest Missouri, and these run until 7 because we could see winds gusting upwards of 40 to 50 miles an hour out of the south today, so do be aware of that. Otherwise, very warm, breezy, low to mid 70s out there, increasing clouds as we go through the morning and afternoon. Watching some thunderstorm chances on Monday. We'll take a look at all that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes.
Indigo Sky Casino is the Gaffney on the 4 states' most trusted weather team.
A police chase in Georgia came to an end with what we're calling the clash of the front-end loaders. A stolen piece of equipment had officers scrambling to figure out how to stop it. Jeannie Moose reports.
Stop.
How do you stop?
Stop. Hey!
A front-end loader leading Gwinnett County, Georgia police on a slow-speed chase.
He's going to go out the main road.
Dick, watch your dick. He's ready.
Police say the suspect had been fired from a waste management business 6 months ago, but returned and took off in the front-end loader, making U-turns. Police in their much lighter vehicles were unable to stop it until they got a front-end loader of their own. An officer went back to the waste management company and picked one out.
How fast is it? They can get up to probably about 30. Okay, grab that.
The employee got behind the wheel. Police escorted him to catch up with the tractor being chased. So it was sort of like a battle of front end loaders.
Two 75,000-pound machines, one trying to stop the other one.
5 miles from where they started,
This is unbelievable.
the second front loader blocked the first. Officers yelled instructions.
Flip it! Flip it! If you can flip it, flip it!
It was like a cross between Transformers and Aliens and Robot Wars. Once flipped, police were able to arrest 38-year-old Eddie Sanchez, jailed for alleged theft, fleeing, and reckless driving, among other charges. CNN was unable to reach his attorney. The end of the front-end loader chase that had even cops saying, "Get a load of this." Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Wow, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. Well, here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen anything like that either. Certainly a unique situation. Yeah. And we've got ourselves an absolutely beautiful day, sans the wind that's going to be gusting today. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Deep forest, majestic mountain.
Partnering with people to live healthier lives.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 622 now on this Friday morning. It is a good Friday across the 4 states, and it's going to be a windy one at that. Wind advisories, Kansas, Missouri. Again, these run until 7 o'clock this evening. That's because we could see southerly winds gusting upwards of 40, potentially 50 miles an hour out there. So if you are traveling today, especially on any east-west highways, you've got to hold on to the wheel because take a look at these gusts. They're already starting to pick up. They're going to be picking up now all the way into the evening hours. That's why those advisories go through 7. Here we are at noon. Gusts again 40 to 50 miles an hour out there. Here we are at 5. Not much change in those wind gusts. It won't be until later this evening that at least some of us will see the winds calm down. Others still dealing with gusts overnight and into tomorrow morning. Good news is only some of us dealing with gusty winds tomorrow, but they'll still be pushing 20, 25 miles an hour. But thankfully, they won't be nearly as intense as they're going to be today. We're at 54 in Joplin, south breeze at 14. Again, already gusting upwards of 24 miles an hour out there. The temperatures, the winds were already ramping up to the west. So we're warmer out west, low to mid 50s across parts of Kansas and into Oklahoma. We're starting to see more low to mid 50s on the Missouri and Arkansas side, but still some upper 40s out there. But don't worry, we're all on the way for a much warmer day. We're already much warmer. We're 15 to 25 degrees warmer right now than we were at this same time 24 hours ago. That's the warm up that we're experiencing, and we'll continue to do so. Partly cloudy to start our day. Clouds will increase gradually through the morning. It will be mostly cloudy, 64 by 11 and breezy. Keep in mind our average highs right about that same level. So we're going to be even warmer than that. Mostly cloudy, breezy, low to mid 70s out there today. We head into tonight, and we're going to start to see actually clearing skies. Partly cloudy, then eventually mostly clear overnight. And take a look at this. Like I said, our average highs are in the low 60s. Our low tonight's mid-upper 50s across the area. And then we've got the thunderstorm chances that we're keeping an eye on across the area. So let's talk about that. As we go into our Saturday, not too bad. Maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm, primarily up north. I think for the most part we're going to be dry. Now by Sunday, could see a few morning showers across the area. It's going to be early morning on Easter Sunday. So if you've got early Easter plans, just keep an eye to the sky. Watch out for some showers out there. Otherwise, aside from some gusty winds and the cloudy skies, rest of our Easter Sunday's not bad. In fact, it's going to be one of our warmest days over the next few days. Then Sunday late evening, after about 8 o'clock, we're going to start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Some of those could be strong, potentially severe. They'll continue into the overnight, and we'll see more of them by about the time, or maybe right before we go on the air at 5 a.m. We're looking at more thunderstorm chances, say around 3, 4 o'clock Monday morning. Then we're going to be stuck with scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout our Monday. Some of those could be strong, potentially severe. And then as a cold front comes in, we're going to say maybe 4, 5 o'clock Monday evening, we're going to get another organized round of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms out there as we head into Monday evening. And we get on the backside of this low pressure system by Tuesday. Could see some showers on our Tuesday. We're going to be much cooler as well. So here's what we're thinking. Sunday late evening, excuse me, into the early overnight hours. This is where we're looking at that possibility for some scattered strong to severe thunderstorms. Then we go overnight into Monday morning and then repeating Monday evening. We've got a much better chance of seeing some strong, potentially severe thunderstorms across the area. So Monday is a day we're going to watch very closely. Mid-70s tomorrow, upper 70s for Easter. Got a possible alert day for Monday with those severe thunderstorm chances, and we'll be right around the mid-70s. And again, on the backside of this, we do cool down. We're going to fall back into the 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, but it's a short-lived cool down and not as significant as the one we just got through. And we'll be right back to the 60s and 70s in the second half of next week. But again, keeping a very close eye late Sunday evening, overnight, and into our Monday as well. That's checking your forecast, and we're going to send it over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, people with multiple sclerosis face a higher chance of hospitalization or death from COVID-19 compared to those who don't have the condition. That's according to research presented at this year's European Congress of Clinical Microbiology, which analyzed about 12 million people in England over the age of 12. Researchers say the risk persists even after repeated vaccine doses, suggesting additional preventative measures may be needed to protect individuals with MS. A new study is backing up the daily use of sweeteners and sweetness enhancers for body weight and blood sugar control. In a randomized controlled trial, researchers at the University of Leeds found replacing sugars with sweeteners does not increase your appetite. They say the products also help reduce blood sugar levels, a major benefit for people at risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And scientists at NYU say they've discovered what causes certain memories to last forever. They found large groups of neurons in the brain fire off sharp wave ripples as we sleep, allowing the brain to decide what daytime events to keep or discard. They hope their research will lead to new therapies that will improve memory and help traumatic ones fade away. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back.
In the heart of Grove, Oklahoma, a new
money down. The 48-hour super sale only at Ashley.
Right now at 6:30, Pittsburgh residents plan a birthday party 150 years in the making.
And we've got ourselves a warm and breezy day across the 4 states. We're going to take a look at that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
Plus, elementary students in Carthage raise money for St. Jude Children's Hospital and get a slime a teacher as a bonus.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:31. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is a Good Friday across the area. So
yes,
as
Easter
we mentioned,
weekend.
a lot of kids out of school today. A lot of businesses will be closed for today. And we've got Easter coming up on Sunday. Yeah, it's hard to, it's just kind of crazy how fast things are going. We're already getting close to April out there. And unfortunately, severe weather season is here. And it is definitely going to be paying us a visit next week. We're going to talk about next week in detail with a full forecast a little later. But right now, our goal is to get you out the door, especially if you're hitting the road. Maybe you've got some travel plans for the holiday weekend. And if you do, wind is going to be your biggest concern for today. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line looking back to the west, looking pretty good out there. Winds are beginning to increase across the area. And we do have wind advisories, Kansas and Missouri. These run until 7 o'clock this evening. And we could see southerly wind gusts 50 miles an hour out there. And here's the other problem with these winds, and the reason these run until 7. It's going to be breezy like that from about now until late this evening. And for some, those gusty winds will continue late evening, even into the overnight hours out there. So if you are traveling, just keep that in mind, especially if you're maybe packing up the family in the RV or just a larger vehicle. You're going to want to hold on to the wheel out there and watch out for those gusty winds. 54 in Joplin, 51 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures around the region warming up. Now off to the west, the winds have already been picking up, so we're low mid-50s across most of Kansas and into Oklahoma, and we are starting to see those temperatures increase. We've got Monette, Cassville, Bentonville in the 40s right now. Everyone else in the low 50s across the Missouri and Arkansas side, and it's going to continue to warm. We are about 15 to 25 degrees warmer now than where we were at this same time 24 hours ago. We're going to start off partly cloudy initially, clouds increasing through the day, and we're going to be mostly cloudy through most of our day, but that does not stop us from warming up, especially with those gusty south winds. We're looking at highs low to mid 70s. We should be about 10 degrees or so cooler than that. So not that anyone's complaining about the warm weather, but it is going to be much warmer than where we're supposed to be. As mentioned, we're watching some thunderstorm chances, especially as we head into Monday. We're going to talk more about that in detail with the full forecast a little later. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you soon, Chris. Local students yesterday gathered at Missouri Southern to pitch their business ideas. MSSU's Missouri Small Business Development Center hosted the inaugural Pitch Palooza. The event was open to any high school or college students, as well as members of the public with an entrepreneurial spirit to get their ideas out there. For the pitch, men and women who attended the event also served as a great way to make some connections.
Having the opportunity to do this and being able to, network with people is really one of the main plans of being here today.
Mackenzie Pitchard was named collegiate winner. Larry Fiskus won pre-venture and Tabitha Carter won scalability. Congratulations to all the winners. A Joplin Art Gallery yesterday made a donation to Watered Gardens Ministries. Local Color Art Gallery recently hosted its annual open house and art auction to raise money for an area organization. This year, that organization is Watered Gardens, and yesterday the gallery presented a check for the proceeds worth $1,100.
Many of our artists here also already support Watered Gardens. We have our two potters make bowls for their Empty Bowls event, and I think we've just seen the work that they do to help the homeless and in our community, and we wanted to be a part of that.
Local Color Art Gallery is currently partnering with the Downtown Gallery of Joplin, raising money for the Joplin Humane Society. Elementary students in Carthage this week raised money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. It's part of a competition called Penny Wars at Mark Twain Elementary. The teacher or principal whose group raised the most money had the honor of getting slimed yesterday in front of the whole school.
It's been so much fun this week. They have been coming up there, I want you slimed. No, I want her slimed. No. And they've just shown us so much love and so much competition. It's been great. Yeah.
Well, this school raised a total of $4,000 from donations from students and staff. Well, kids in Chanute, Kansas got to celebrate Easter a little early. The Neosho County Health Department yesterday hosted a drive-through Easter egg hunt. Officials say the drive-through style event started after they did a similar event for Christmas at the height of COVID. They decided to continue the trend for Easter, and it's stuck around ever since.
It's just wonderful to see them come in and see them smile and see them come in maybe drooping and watch them walk out smiling. And you'll see the kids as they come through. Even the handicapped children are able to drive through. They don't have to worry about getting out if they don't want to, and the bunny will go to the car.
There was also a photo booth with the Easter Bunny at the end of the hunt. The city of Pittsburgh turns 150 in 2026, so a local organization is already planning the celebrations. The Celebrate Pittsburgh committee has launched Pittsburgh 150, and yesterday they held a public meeting to discuss the plans. Residents were able to jot down ideas, memories, and give input pertaining to the city and its historic birthday. Attendees met the folks behind Celebrate Pittsburgh, learned about the initiative and ways to get involved.
I want a giant Ferris wheel. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I would love at some point to have a giant Ferris wheel that we could bring to Pittsburgh for a weekend or for a festival for a whole week.
Honestly, I'm more excited to see what other people are suggesting. I'm excited to see Pittsburgh grow and what form that takes.
I'd love to see a Ferris wheel too. That sounds pretty cool. Well, the committee plans to have events all year long throughout 2026. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Well, if it's Friday, you know what that means. We've got Shannon Becker live in studio to help us close out the week with his big 3 news stories. Plus, we have a warm and windy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
$1.90. You can call it whatever the heck you want. New dirty drinks now at Sonic.
Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great.
Wonderful.
Let's take a look at the big 3
Yes.
stories this week. What's live and local happening where you live. Our number 3 story, it was last Friday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, an officer with a job at the police department attempted, oh, did I not put on my microphone? Oh my gosh. How did I do that? Yep, technical difficulty. Oh, no, it's just Shannon difficulty.
No, it's okay.
I just sit down and just
No, it's all
start
good.
talking to myself. So last Friday afternoon, about 4, an officer with the Joplin Police Department attempted to conduct a traffic stop, and then it ended up in being a 45-minute pursuit. That's the path of the pursuit. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes,
I asked
wow.
one of the officers, I was like, where did it actually start? Where did it go? And so 2 people arrested on various charges, racking up more felony charges on top of warrants.
Okay.
It ended, no one was injured on Malang Road. Our number 2 story, tragedy the other morning on 96 Highway, County Road 20. A milk tanker truck carrying about 10,000 pounds, 1,100 gallons of milk was rear-ended by a pickup truck. A man from Mount Vernon hit the back of that milk truck, caused it to roll over. He died at the scene. Our number 1 story, breaking news that we told you as it was happening in Riverton and also in Baxter Springs. 2 smoke shops were raided by the Kansas Racing and Gaming Commission the other day. What happened, we talked with the Kansas Racing and Gaming Commission.
Yes.
It's not easy to say. They said they seized what you call the sweepstake games. There's, to normal people like you or I, it looks like a slot machine like you see here.
Yes, right.
But they claim that these games are actually games of skill, not games of chance. So the stores don't actually own them. They're brought in by another company, so they just lease the space. But we were told they took 12 machines out of the 2 locations in Cherokee County, also along with cash and with all the records, some electronic records, some paper records that went along with those. It's a story we'll continue to follow right here at KOAM News Now. And then our bonus story of the week, the circus is here. Yes. I went last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
how was it?
It's great.
Oh, wonderful.
They always do a fantastic job. You know, they're based in Webb City. They have been for years.
Yes.
And this is kicking off their big season for 2024, the Tarzan
fantastic.
Cervini Circus, all weekend this weekend and then all next week. You can go to our website, KOAM News Now, for more details on all those tickets. And you're going to talk, the circus is here. I saw them in the break room. Yeah.
Yes, the circus will be joining us on Fox 14 at 7 o'clock. They'll be here. We have one of the unicyclists. Can you tell me what your favorite part was about the circus yesterday when you went?
I like the motorcycle stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that before,
Yeah.
but you know, they moved away from the animal stuff, you know, years ago.
Right.
So it's cool stunts and stuff like that. They've got this ball that they all race around in.
Fun.
Yeah,
How
that's
cool.
crazy. So that's our big 3 in the bonus.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Shannon, for joining us this morning. Thank you for all that you do and all of your coverage and fantastic journalism. Well, stick around. We'll be right back.
In the 4 states' finest.
All right, time for some Friday birthdays in the 4 states. And we are going to start with Haley Woods in Carterville, celebrating birthday number 2. It says happy birthday from your granny and papa, Nana, Bug sister Gracie, and all your family.
And happy birthday to Red Stacy, turning 6 years old today from Sheldon, Missouri. It says happy birthday from Mom, Dad, and your brothers.
And we've got Avery Harrison celebrating birthday number 18. Says happy 18th birthday with love from Mom, Dad, and Brenly.
And happy birthday to Jalen Earl, turning 19 from Jasper. Happy birthday, Jalen.
And belated birthday wishes going out to Gracie Rolls, turning 24 yesterday. And Gracie is an elementary teacher in Pittsburgh and actually is, I didn't know this, how am I not connected with the world here? Our technical media operator, Daniel Rennie, she is his fiance.
Oh, wow.
Well, how was I unaware of this? Well, congratulations, you two, and happy birthday, Gracie.
Wow. And a happy birthday to Hillary Maloney from Carl Junction, who's celebrating birthday number 32.
And we've got Sherry Adams in Arma celebrating birthday number 63. It says, this is your year. We love you so much, from the O'Banion clan.
And happy birthday to Hulda Rude, who's celebrating birthday number 100 from Columbus. It says, to a very beautiful and special lady, happiest of birthdays.
And in Erie, Rhonda Kane celebrating another year wiser, says, with love from all of your work gals. Happy birthday, Rhonda.
And continuing the birthday list with Zach Conway from Columbus. Happy birthday, Zach.
And in Joplin, Chris Richardson celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday.
And John and Janice Gaither are celebrating an anniversary today from Columbus. Happy birthday to you too.
Anniversary.
Oh, gosh.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. Happy
We
anniversary
forget.
and happy birthday if we missed you.
Yeah. You'll have a birthday. Each of you will have a birthday at some point, and
Yeah.
we're just going to go ahead and wish you a
Got you
happy
covered.
birthday now. It's Friday. All right. Last but certainly not least, Charlie Volker celebrating birthday number 53. A very happy birthday to you. That was another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. And if you would like to celebrate with us, Elise Noe has the email you need to send things to.
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those messages and pictures if you so desire, and to meet that deadline at the bottom of your screen.
Absolutely. And again, we absolutely love celebrating these birthdays and anniversaries with all of you. All right, we've got a busy forecast here. It's been relatively decent lately, but boy, things are about to change. First, we start with these wind advisories. Kansas and Missouri. These run until 7 o'clock tonight, because we're looking at southerly winds gusting upwards of 40, potentially 50 miles an hour out there. Take a look at this. We stopped this at noon. Winds out of the south, 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts out there. Sustained winds up to 25, maybe even 30 miles an hour on top of that. So if you are traveling for the Easter holiday weekend and you're hitting the road today, especially if you're on an east-west highway, you've got to hold on to the wheel. You got to pay attention out there because these winds are going to be intense. Now, we're going to advance this 5 hours down the road. Not a lot of change, hence why those advisories run for so long. Still 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts possible even by 5 o'clock. Then we'll see winds kind of calm down a bit for some of us. The rest of us, even overnight into tomorrow, still wind gusts up to about 30 as we go into our Saturday. Some of us, again, still winds gusting 20, maybe 25 miles an hour, so a little more manageable tomorrow than they will be today, and they'll still be out of the south-southwest as we head into our Saturday. Right now in Joplin, nice sunrise out there. Couple of clouds, but those will increase as the morning continues. 54 in Joplin. South breeze at 14, gusting upwards of 24. Out to the west, again, the winds have already been kind of on the increase right out of the south. So parts of Kansas and into Oklahoma have been in the low to mid 50s through most of the morning. And we're starting to see those winds shift, starting to pick up a bit, starting to warm up a bit as we head a little further east. Still in the 40s, Monette, Cassville, Bentonville, but everybody else is sitting into the low 50s out there. All of us much warmer than yesterday, anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees warmer now than we were at this same time 24 hours ago. So talk about a warm up, and we're not done yet. So partly cloudy as we get our day underway. Clouds gradually increasing. The winds, of course, will be picking up across the entire area. And take a look at this, 64 at 11 a.m. Bear in mind that right about here is our average high for this time of year. So we're going to continue to warm as we head into the afternoon with those increasing clouds, mostly cloudy skies. Highs today, low to mid 70s across the area. And then as we head into tonight, we're going to reverse things a bit. Clouds will begin to gradually decrease a little bit, and we'll go mostly clear overnight. And I just mentioned our average highs are in the low 60s. We're only a few degrees off that for our lows tonight. A very mild evening as we go mid-upper 50s tonight. Now, I want to talk to you very quickly about our thunderstorm chances. Not very quickly. I'm going to do it in detail here. So as we head into our Saturday, we're going to start tomorrow mostly clear, and clouds will begin to increase across the area. And then Sunday morning, we could still see a few stray showers across the area. So if you have early morning Easter plans, just keep that in mind. Then the rest of our Easter Sunday, aside from the clouds and maybe some gusty winds here and there, not bad. Easter is our warmest day over the next several days, and we're going to have the clouds out there. Now, by late evening on Sunday, we're going to start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and some of these could be strong, potentially severe out there. And at this point, because we want to be upfront and honest with you, all severe hazards appear possible at this point. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on these storms. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney, of course, will be here Sunday evening, and then I'll turn around and come in Monday morning because we're looking at that strong to severe thunderstorm threat continuing into Monday morning and possibly as we go into the KOAM morning news. Then, as we head into the afternoon, we'll have scattered showers and storms, but these will have the potential to be strong, potentially severe. And as the cold front approaches from the west, we'll get another kickoff, say about 4 or 5 o'clock, of more organized thunderstorms again. Not so much the scattered activity, but more organized activity that could also be strong, potentially severe. So Sunday evening and overnight, this is the zone we're kind of watching for some strong, potentially severe thunderstorms, but that threat amplifies overnight into Monday morning and into Monday evening across the entire area for more strong to severe thunderstorms. So one thing I want to remind you very quickly too is this setup, we've been talking about it now for several days. It's been relatively consistent for a while, so that's why we've got the higher end risk out there. That's why we've been talking about it so much, because it's been relatively consistent in terms of these thunderstorm chances. So we'll be watching Sunday night and Monday very closely, and you should as well. We're going to have the news you need to know here in just a moment, as well as a look at the 7-day forecast, or the 10-day forecast rather. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7, we're going to learn how AI is being used to help match people with pets.
Want the job done right? A four-state hero.
Now here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Jasper County deputies arrest a suspect in a cable theft. Deputies served a search warrant at the location of a possible suspect vehicle and found 470 feet of telecommunications cable at the home. Deputies arrested the suspect, but official charges have not been filed. Naxer Springs Police is receiving more than $160,000 in federal funds. The money will be used for technological upgrades. Specifically, the police department plans to buy 10 body cameras and 6 car cameras. Chief of Police Brian Henderson anticipates having the items in place by midsummer. And the Celebrate Pittsburgh committee launched Pittsburgh 150 and held their first public meeting to plan Pittsburgh 150 celebration. Residents were able to jot down ideas and memories and give input about this city and its historic birthday. The committee plans to have events all year long throughout 2026. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, again today, mid-70s out there, breezy, south winds gusting 40-50 miles an hour, mid-70s Saturday, upper 70s Sunday. And for Easter, we're looking pretty good most of the day, watching strong, potentially severe thunderstorms late evening, overnight. We have a possible alert day Monday for those strong, potentially severe thunderstorms as well. We'll have one round in the morning, one good round in the evening, and some scattered storms in between. We're cooler behind it into the 50s Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll warm back up in the second half of next week.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making golden salmon bake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, members from the Tarzan Zerbini Circus join us in the studio to talk about their performance.
And Shannon Becker back in the studio shares big 3 stories of the week. However, it's going to wrap it up for us for now. Thank you so much for joining us, spending some time with us on your Good Friday. We'll see you back here Monday morning, tracking those storms at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.